And just notice, how he's crowding the line with that front leg. One of the things I've noticed a lot with this year is that back leg has ended up being a little bit further back for a lot of people. And so, I'd say that if you're struggling with getting that back leg through here, it could be a thing to kind of work with, either bringing the leg forward, bringing the leg back. It is something that you could definitely adjust. The big thing, though, is you want to make sure to keep that heel up as you're going in. And then from here, it's really big knee. That front knee needs to drop a good amount. And then from there, you really want to push off and extend and get that triple extension there, because now you're going to be able to pick up more overall distance on that first step. And not to say that first step is about distance. I'm big on that first step really needs to be about quickness. But when you're able to get that foot down in front of you and pick up some distance, it really helps you out. And so you can see that, and it's pretty average to get about a yard on that first step, keeping that heel fairly high up and really being able to maximize that triple extension, also maintain that nice long spine. So you really don't want to end up being too rounded in your spine as you're starting off with those first like 3 to 5 steps. You need to be able to keep extension, but still keep your head out and over your knees. So you don't want to end up, when you're rounding your back, a lot of times your head will be even with your knee instead of your head out in front of your knee, which is a good indication that you're able to, or that you're doing a good job of expanding your spine and also keeping your head down and spine in a good position. Now from there, it's really about being able to get that really nice push off and keeping those feet low. See how good he's doing at keeping those feet nice and low? That's really good in being able to optimize each one of your steps and picking up as much distance as you can. Because when you're first talking about these first steps, you really got to be able to make sure that you're able to get to that first 10 as fast as you can. So here, that's steps number 4 right there. Here's step number 5. He's starting to slowly come up now. You can see that. Here's step number 6. And now we're getting into step number 7, and he hits that step number 7 right at 1.64. One of the big things we talk about is that you got to be under 1.7 at that first 10 in your sprint, or else you're going to end up impacting your ability to get to that sub 4.5. So this is all with the mentality of being able to get to 4.5 and under. For a lot of people that you're in high school, if you're able to run 4.5, you're going to get a lot more notice overall from like a recruiting perspective. And so, I'd love to be able to set you up to be able to do that. Even, running 4.6, 4.7, you're going to be one of the faster kids in, the area. And probably on your team by being able to get those types of numbers. But it's a very technical race here at the 40. So some of these guys that, are running 4.3s, they've been working on it for a long time. So I'd say don't get too discouraged if you run a 4.6, 4.7, because I'd even say that Javaris Davis, probably before he started getting training, was probably in that 4.6, 4.7 range and was able to work down to a 4.3. So now we're going to getting into step 8, step 9. Now you could really see him lengthening each one of his strides. So now his spine is much more upright, and he's really getting extension with that leg out in front. So what ends up happening is that as you get going, now you start to be able to reach and get that foot out in front of the knee. And when you start getting that foot out in front of the knee, now you can create this pull down as you're going through each one of these steps, which makes it so then your overall efficiency and really power development is happening with your foot out in front of you. So he's actually generating force to be able to push off with right now, right? As soon as he passes here, boom, this from here on out, all of that force that he's generating is helping him in being able to push off the ground later. Because look, he's already pulling back. So now by the time his foot hits the ground, he's already creating momentum to be able to push off right away when his foot gets on the ground, but is still able to maintain the same level of efficiency with each one of the steps. And now you can see, at 5.8, he's still, he hit 20 and about a half on that 12 steps, which is huge, right? And he's at 2.72 right now. And I would say that he even passed it even earlier. He was probably, 2.65 maybe, which is amazing. That's why he was able to run such a fast 40. I mean, you got to be under 2.75 in order to, again, get to that 4.5 mark, all right? So he's at 2.65. Now he's really opening himself up. And big thing here is just trying not to allow that heel to get too high. So now that you're opening up and really pushing off, what's going to happen is your heel's going to snap back, and your heel's going to want to get really high up and behind you. You want to be able to maintain your spine a little bit more upright. I'd say that he, starts leaning forward, let that chin come out a little bit too far out in front of him there. Could work on that a little bit, but he's also letting that foot get a little bit too high. And I mean, these are by centimeters. The left one, he actually does a pretty good job of not letting it get too high. It's just the right one. But you can see, as soon as he's pushing off, he's bending that knee right behind him. And as he's bending that knee, you want to be driving it through. What I see a lot of times is that people end up getting that foot stuck back behind them right here, right? This back foot, you don't want to let it get stuck back too far behind you. As soon as you push off, you want to start bending this back knee and driving that foot underneath you. So now you have plenty of time and plenty of height with that foot. So when you're driving your foot up all the way through, now you have plenty of distance to be able to pull that foot underneath you, which makes it so you're going to be able to, maximize the run. And this was going to be the 19th step. 20 steps, 20 and a half steps at 5'8" is absolutely absurd because he's absolutely moving to, he got a 4.4 here. I think the next one he ended up getting a 4.39, and I think his official ended up being a 4.38. And so, absolutely killed it from a 40 perspective, especially being 5'8". I mean, that's unbelievable just because naturally, don't have as long of legs. And so being able to generate that much speed and also be that efficient with the stride is absolutely, kudos to him, and what he was able to do in preparation for the 40. I hope that ends up really making a big difference in him getting drafted and going in the NFL. But just want to give you guys some information on how he was able to get that done. I'd love to hear from you if you guys have any questions or if you have any recommendations. Also, check out some of the stuff that we have. We have some free 7-day trials for some of our programs, and I also have a how to get faster in your 40 and for just $19. So it's a $19 program that will give you a video tutorial or a few different video tutorials, a step-by-step guide, exercises, drills, support, and a money-back guarantee. It's only $19. I'd definitely take the risk if you're looking to get faster here this off-season. Check it out. The link's below, and looking forward to hearing from you and continue to help you guys get faster